Hey everybody, Ryan here at eTrailer. Today on our 2015 Ford E-Series Motorhome, we're going to be checking out the Roadmaster Falcon 2 Tow Bar. Before we kind of check the tow bar out itself and really kind of dig into it, I figured it would be useful just to kind of refresh yourselves on the 5 main components that we're going to need to flat tow a vehicle behind our motorhome in the first place. First component is going to be a base plate. And that base plate is going to provide us with a solid and reliable connection point. That way we can hook our tow bar up to it. Tow bar is going to be the second component. And, this is going to provide us with the physical link that connects the front of our towed vehicle to the back of our RV. The third main component will be safety cables. And these are there in the event of an unlikely disconnect. These are going to keep both of our vehicles paired together. The fourth main component is going to be tow bar wiring, and what this is going to do is transfer the lighting functions from the back of our motorhome to the back of our towed vehicle, keeping us safe and legal. And last but not least, the fifth main component will be a braking system, and what this is going to do is apply the brakes in our towed vehicle whenever we hit the brakes in our coach, helping to bring us to a complete and predictable stop. So when it comes to choosing a tow bar, there's a ton of different choices out there, and it's a pretty important decision. This is going to keep everything together and, pull your vehicle down the road. So it's important that you get the right one. Now with the Falcon 2, it is well built. It's kind of a starter tow bar. It's just got kind of all the basics, and that's really it. Nothing wrong with that at all. Will this get you going down the road safely? Absolutely. With that said, it's not the most user-friendly by any means. This would be one if you flat towed occasionally, you could get away with this one. However, with that said, I feel like if you went out quite often, there's probably some better choices available for you. And really, I say that because this tow bar is a binding type tow bar. And so what happens whenever you're towing your vehicle, these arms are going to lock in. And whenever you get to where you're going and you want to unhook, what can happen is these arms will get in a bind and make it really difficult to release your pins and everything else and get everything separated. If that happens, there's these little buttons here, all right? And pretty much impossible to push down with your hands to release that tension. So what a lot of people will do is beat them with a hammer and things like that. And there's actually a tool, that is available that you can use. And so this will go around your tow bar like this, and this gives you some leverage to pop those down. But, it's kind of one of those things, a double-edged sword really, because you got to pick this up separately. This does not come with the tow bar. And then it's one more thing you got to keep track of. I know myself, if I were to be flat towing, I'd want everything to be streamlined and simplified. And so by adding another component into the mix, it's just one of those things. With that said, again, nothing wrong with it. It will get you going down the road. If you're looking for a little more ease of use, I would suggest a non-binding type tow bar. There's a bunch of different choices, from one of them that's really popular and I like. It's relatively basic and shares a lot of the same things as this one, with the exception of being a binding type, is the all-terrain tow bar. And it's non-binding, it has levers, so if it does get in a bind, you just pull up on a lever with your hand, it pops it loose, and you're good to go. And there's a couple other things too. Going down that road, I feel like any non-binding tow bar is going to have a slight advantage. But again, if you're someone that goes out every now and again, perfectly acceptable and is a good tow bar. So the tow bar itself does have these direct connect type ends on them. So they're going to work with most Roadmaster base plate kits, whether it's a direct connect or crossbar type like we have here today on our vehicle. And they are easy to use, easy to hook up. Whenever you are ready, you're going to hook up all your other components, and then these ends are just going to line up. You'll take your pins, simply just push them through, take this little latch pin, and that's really all there is to it. So, pretty straightforward. And, you know, if you have a different base plate kit, chances are pretty good you can still use this tow bar. And that's because there's adapters available that you can put on the ends of them. So if that's your particular situation, definitely something to check out. But other than that, you know, this is going to have a 6,000 pound weight capacity. So it's going to work with a bunch of different flat tow vehicles and motorhomes. So it kind of gets you covered there. And, you know, these things are well built. We get a lot of repeat customers here at eTrailer, and we've had customers come back after a couple of years with, you know, pretty regular use on this tow bar, and they hold up strong. You know, they really don't give people a whole lot of fits as far as, you know, them failing or not working the way they should. So would I have confidence using this, pulling my vehicle down the road? Absolutely. So, you know, it's just one of those things that you're going to have to decide. You know, if you want to have something a little bit easier to use, check out the non-binding type tow bars. If you're okay with this, then definitely a great option. One of the nice things about this setup is the fact that you can keep it stored on the back of your motorhome whenever you're not using it. So pretty convenient there. We all know storage is really important when we're over the road. And to do that, you're just going to disconnect everything. We can take our tow bar, fold the arms in and push them together. And then this part will actually connect to this latch here. All right. So that'll kind of lock in, and then you can flip it to either side, whichever one works best for you. And like I said, you can keep this back here temporarily or permanently. If you do keep it back here permanently, I would suggest picking up a locking hitch pin. That way it'll be secured. And you can kind of go another step further to keep the weather off of it and use a bag like this. It'll slide over everything and just help keep it in better shape. And that'll finish up our look at of the Roadmaster Falcon 2 tow bar on our 2015 Ford E-Series motorhome.